Hey guys, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I'm Kishore and today I'll be solving a classic Sudoku created by Sridharan. This Sudoku is in continuation to the classics we have been posting earlier. Our previous video was a speed solving session and prior to that we have been posting classic Sudokus continuously and this is in continuation to that. So a bit of a background about the Sudoku. The Sudoku has been taken from CTC Discord server and I had attempted this Sudoku for a live solve a few hours back. So what happened was that I was close to finishing the Sudoku, but there was one deduction that I could not find and the video was already 40 minutes long. So I had to scrap the video because I wasn't sure I would complete the Sudoku. So I had to scrap the video, and after I scrapped, within 5 to 6 minutes I found the logic that I was missing, and I thought of making a video on it. So this is a very hard classic Sudoku, there is no doubt about it, a really hard one, in the sense that the logic that is seen in the Sudoku cannot be confined to the techniques that you see in Wiki. I don't think so, because the techniques that we have covered previously, like different techniques, I don't think the one we see in this classic comes in any of that category. Having said that, you guys can still try out the classic Sudoku yourself. The link to solve is given in the description of the video. Please do give it a try and come back and watch the video. As I've solved this now, I know exactly how to proceed in the Sudoku. So let us just go to the Sudoku. Each row, each column and each 3 by 3 box will have digits from 1 to 9 without repetitions. And before solving, uh, many of you regular viewers have been continuously watching our videos. Thank you for that, but please help us to grow, and the only way we can grow is when you subscribe to the channel, and we'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. So let us start the Sudoku. 1 is in row 1, row 3, so we get 1 in one of these two cells, and I don't think you can do anything more with the ones, right? There are no more ones in the grid. So let us just shift our focus to 4s, because there are quite a few 4s in the grid. 4 is in column 5, 4 is in row 1, row 2, so you can pencil mark 4 to one of these two cells, and 4 in column 9 can't go in these cells, as only two options left. 4 will go in one of these two cells, and I don't think you can do anything with the 4s. 4 goes in these three cells and 4 goes in these 4 cells in boxes 4 and 5 respectively, so you can't do anything more with these 4s. So look at this row, guys. This seems to be interesting, right? We have 5 givens, 5, 6, 7 and 4 and 9, and 8 can't go into these cells, which means that 8 must go into one of these two cells. And now we can write the candidates here, which are pretty limited. So this has to be 1, 2, 3, and that has to be 1, 2, 3. And with the help of these givens, we can reduce these possibilities. Okay, so there are some more sixers in the grid, so let's focus on the sixers. So 6 is in row 4, row 5. 6 goes in these two cells. 6 can't be in row 8, column 7. 6 cannot be in column 9. So 6 goes in one of these two cells, which means you can eliminate the 6 from here. That gives a 6 here. So we got our first digit. 4, 6, 9, 5 and 7. Remaining digits in column 7 are 1, 2, 3 and 8. So I have 1, 2 here. So this has to be 3, 8. 1 and 3. So this would have to be 2 and 8. Continuing on, this is 1, 2, 8, and this can have 4 candidates. So we are going to refrain from writing that now. I have 4, 9 and 5 and 7 and 3 and 6 in column 9. So these two cells are limited. So let us write the possibilities there, 1, 2 and 8. So keep an eye on this 8s, guys. This is going to play a crucial role later on in the Sudoku. Okay, look at this box. 3, 4 and 7, and you have 1, 2 and 6 in column 1, in row 1. So these two cells are pretty limited. 6 possibilities are eliminated, so both of these 5, 8 and 9. You can't have a 5 here because 5 is here, 5 is 1, 3, 4, 7, and 5 and 6, which means that this has to be 2, 8, and 9. Okay, 7 is in row 7 and row 8, so 7 goes in one of these cells. All simple classic stuff, nothing fancy there. Okay, so if you look at this cell, 3, 4, 7, and 1 and 2 are eliminated. So this is going to be 5, 6, 8, and 9. So now you may ask me, why am I writing 4 candidates here, which I normally don't do at this early in the solve. The reason is because of this technique which I'm going to show you now. So we have an XYZ wing in the grid, guys. So what is an XYZ wing? You have candidates in 3 cells, out of which 2 cells are bi-value candidates, and 1 cell is a triple value candidate like this one, right? And the digits in those cells must be some combination of 3 digits exactly. So in this case, you will notice that 2, 8, and 9 are the digits, and in one cell you have 2, 8, and one of the cells you have all the 3 candidates, which acts as the pivot cell. And by pivot I mean a cell which is common to other cells. So this is the pivot cell, and one other cell which is having YZ. So if you call X as 2 and Y as 8, this is XY, this is XYZ, and this is Y and Z. So when you have such a pattern with a tri-value candidate cell acting as the pivot cell, so you can eliminate the candidate which is common to these cells from the cells which see all the 3 cells. So in this case, row 3 column 1 and row 3 column 2 are common to all these 3 cells, right? No other cell is there which is common to all these 3 cells. So from these cells you can eliminate the digit which is common between these 2 cells because of this XYZ pattern. So here there is a 3 given already, so you can't do anything about it, but here you can eliminate the 8. This can't be an 8. You can just simply see what happens if this is 8. This instantly becomes 2, and that instantly becomes 9. And what can you have here? Can't be 9, can't be 8, and cannot be 2. So which means that based on this XYZ wing pattern, we can eliminate the 8 from that cell. Okay, so I'll just remove these cells now. It's a very powerful pattern and it's an advanced Sudoku logic that you can use in tough Sudoku. Okay, I have 3, 6, and 9 here, and 1 and 4 here, which means these 3 cells must be 2, 5, 7, 8, and 5 is ruled out from here, 2 is ruled out from here. Okay, so this is 2, 5, 7, 8. We can't do anything about that. Okay, in column 6 we have the digits 2 and 6 staring down at box 8, so which means these 3 cells will have to take 2, 6 for this box. And okay, let us try to look at cells which have 3 or less than 3 candidates. You'll realize that the Sudoku is still very hard. We have just placed one digit, and we are yet to make a significant breakthrough. So we have 4, 5, 8 here and 2, 3, 6 here. So this has to be 1, 7, 9. And of course, in column 5, these 3 cells can't take 1 and 2, which means 1 and 2 must be hidden in these 3 cells. 2 cannot be here. So I'll just make a corner pencil mark. So I have 1, 4, 2 6 here and 5 and 8 here, so this has to be 3 7 and 9. No other possibility can go there. Okay, 5 6 7 4 and 2 and 3, so this has to be 1 8 and 9. Okay, so look at this deduction, guys. I'm going to highlight the cells which are taking center stage here. Okay, so you would have identified what is the technique we are going to use at this stage. Of course, this is an X-Wing. So in row 1 and row 6, if I ask myself the question, where can the digit 5 go? 5 has exactly 2 cells, right? 5 can either be in row 1 column 2 or row 1 column 8. And if you look at row 6 and ask the same question, where can 5 go? 5 has exactly this cell or this cell, which basically means that if I have a 5 here, the 5 in row 6 has to go here, and if I have a 5 here, the 5 in row 6 has to go here, which means that effectively one of these cells has to be a 5 and one of these cells would have to be a 5. So this is the X-Wing technique. So using this technique, we can eliminate all these cells. Oops. We can eliminate all these cells as not being a 5. So some of the highlighted cells are given here, so let us ignore that. However, this cell can't take a 5 because it's a yellow cell, and due to this X-Wing we can remove the 5 from here, and this can't also be 5. So 1 4 6 7 and 5, so this would have to be 2 3 8 9, and these two cells are useless because you already have a 5 here, and similarly these two cells are useless. This cannot be a 5. 2 6 9 3 and 5, so this would have to be 1 4 7 8, and even this can't be 5. 3 4 7 5 and 6, so this would have to be 1 2 8 and 9. Okay, so I think we have eliminated 5 from all the cells we want to. So let us do the highlights. So that was nice to see, right? Okay, now if you guys remember, I had uh, mentioned earlier that this is something to notice, to watch out for. In row 8, 8 is exactly in one of these two cells, right? Now look what happens, guys. Take this cell. So this Sudoku basically works on this idea, guys. The mirror theme. It has a theme of mirror, and for some interesting reason, it is themed mirror. So what happens if this is an 8? Let us check out that. I'm going to highlight the cells which are going to take importance here. Okay. So just what happens if there is an 8 here? Right? The 8 in row 8 has to go here. And now look what happens to these cells. This becomes 9. That becomes 2. And now what happens to this cell? No possibility can go there. The moment you take an 8 here, you force an 8 here, you force a 9 here, and you force a 2 here, and now this cell is stranded of any possibilities. So which means that this is a really difficult step to see, guys, and highly difficult, and I don't think without using these steps it's possible to complete the Sudoku. The first time I had solved, I used many other steps apart from this, which did not help me to complete the Sudoku, and the Sudoku video went till 40 minutes. But this particular step really helps you in the solve. So this cannot be an 8 now. We have seen that. Okay, let these cells be highlighted for now because the trick is not over it. This would be 7 9 now because 3. Okay, so this cell be 5 7 8 and 9. 3 4 5 6 7 9, so this would be 1 2 8, right? Now if you notice, because we eliminated the 3 from here, we are getting a triplet 1 2 and 8, and 4 5 7 9 as given, so which means that these two cells would be 3 6 pair, 3 4 6. Okay, so 3 can be eliminated from here. This is not a 3. Now for now I'll just remove these highlights, right? I know I said they are important, but I'm going to show you again. So okay, so you have 5 6 here, and you have 2 4 and 7 here, so which means that this cell has to be 1 3 8 and 9, right? And now guys, for precisely the same reason that we eliminated 8 from here, you can use the same logic to eliminate 8 from these two cells. I'm highlighting those cells. Okay, 8 can be eliminated from these two cells. So look how that happens. So if this is 8, the 8 in row 8 has to go here, right? So let me highlight the cell in pink. So if I have an 8 here, my 8 in row 8 has to go here. This basically becomes a 2, which is already here. And this now becomes a 9, right? And now look what can go here. You got, if you have an 8 here, this was an 8, this is a 2, this becomes 9 because 2 is here and 8 is here, so that's 9. And now you have 8 9 here. What can go here? Nothing, right? So basically the same idea you can use from this cell and eliminate the 8. So both of these cells can't take an 8. This is a really crucial deduction, guys. Without this step, you're going nowhere. I can guarantee you that unless you guess in the Sudoku, without finding this step, the Sudoku is going nowhere. That is 100%, because I used all possible techniques at this stage and I could not go anywhere. So these cells can't take an 8. Fine. So this is 1 9, this is 1 3 and 9. And now again, the same extension of the technique. We were using 8 all over the place. Now look what happens if this cell is a 9. So if this cell is a 9, right, this becomes 8 and this becomes 2, right? And that has to become an 8. And now you will notice that 8 in row 8 does not have a cell, because you have the 8 here, you have the 8 here. So where can 8 go in row 8? There is no other cell left. So basically this cell can't take a 9, because if this is a 9, 8 2 8, and 8 is removed from these cells. So all these deductions are really crucial. So this is not a 9, that has to be a 1. And using similar idea, this is not a 9 as well, because if this is a 9, same thing, 8 2 8, and no cell left for 8 in row 8, right? So this is not a 9, and you also have a 1 here, which means that this has to be a 3. Okay, now we have got something in the Sudoku. So this would have to be a 2 and 8, because you can't have 9 there. Right now I think we have fully exhausted this technique, so we can just remove the highlighted cells. Fine, right? I'll just remove the corner pencil marks. Okay, 9 is in one of these cells in column 3 now, so that's 9. That's not a 9, and that's not a 9. I can remove the one pencil mark from here. That's 7 9. And now you'll notice that we have 1 2 pair in column 5. Let me remove the corner pencil marks and make it 1 2. So I have 7 9 here, I have 1 2 here, a 4 5 8 here. This would have to be a 3 6 pair. And this 3 resolves this 3 6 pair immediately. And you have 6 here, which means that this cell to be a 5, which immediately gives this as an 8, gives this as 9, that becomes 7, that becomes 5. This is not 8 or 9, so this would have to be a 2, which means you can complete the row, so that becomes 8. This 2 gives us an 8 here, that's not 8, and that's not 8, so this one. 2 3 5 7 4 8 9, so this has to be a 1, which means this becomes 6. And now 7 in row 3 has only this cell left, so that's a 7. And I can pencil mark 4 9 here. And now remaining digits in box 2 are 5 and 8. You have 5 here, so that has to be a 5. That has to be 8. 3, 4, 5, 8, 1, 6, and 7. These two cells must be 2, 9, and which can be immediately resolved, so that becomes 9. That becomes, so I can remove the 2 from these two cells, so that gives me a 2 here, which means this has to be a 1. That becomes 2. That becomes beautiful, right? So the idea was basically revolving around columns 3, column 7, and row 8 as to how or what happens when you have 8 in certain cells. This is the basic idea behind the Sudoku, guys. Without this logic, I'm reiterating again that it is not possible to complete the Sudoku if you are looking for logic to complete. Without these steps, simply impossible. Okay, 4, 5, 8, 6, and 7, right? Remaining digits are 1, 2, 3, and 9, so you have 1 and 3 in column 2. So that helps me mark a pair 1, 3. So this has to be 2, 9. So I have 2, 6, 9, 1, 3, 8. So these cells basically become 4, 5, 7. This can't be a 5, which means these two cells would be an 8, 9 pair, and because of this 9, I can resolve this 9, 8 pair. 1, 2, 6, 3, 5, 9. So I can remove the 2 from here. So this would be 4, 8 for the row. Okay, I have a 1, 8 pair. 1, 3, 8, 9, 2, 6, and 7. So this would have to be a 4 now, can't be a 5. So that is 5. That is a 5 for the column. Means that this is 7. That becomes 8. These would be 4, 5. And with the help of the 5, I can resolve this 4 and 5. 3, 5, 6, 9, 1, 4, 8. This would have to be 2, 7. And that can be resolved to 2, 7. Which means that this cell has to be 9. 1, 2, 9, 5, and 6. So 3, 4, 7, 8. These two cells take 4, 8. These two cells take 3, 7. I have an 8 here. So that is an 8. That becomes 4. Which means these two cells can be resolved. So that is 4, 9. I have 2 here, which means this has to be a 3. This has to be 1. Now this 3, 7 pair is doable. 4, 5, 7, 1, 3, 8, and 9. I have 6 here. That gives me a 7 here and a 9 here. And which means we can breeze through the last few digits. So this is a 9. That is a 2. That is a 2. That is a 6. 6. That is a 3. That is a 3. That is a 1. That's a 1. And that's 8. With that, we have completed this very hard classic Sudoku by Sridharan. It had some really narrow steps, and in fact the author himself had said that the Sudoku is hard. The author had rated the Sudoku as hard. So hope you guys enjoyed watching me show you the tricky steps in the Sudoku. Please do like the video, comment on the video. More important, please help us to grow by subscribing to. Thank you for watching. We back to you guys soon with the video.